last group also, that we have, the UGC came later with the framework for the syllabi curricula, that the framework, but our task force, we have initiated and we have formulated, and if you look that the framework and what the UGC has introduced, almost similar. So I will say that we have initiated right from the beginning, whatever the initiatives, whether it was the CBCS, whether it was the NEP or other things. I'll just recall that the 3 years back, if you try to see that the India Today rankings, there the Mizoram University was among the, Mizoram University was the first filing the patents in the country. It is the India Today report. So that whatever the achievements that we have achieved, what I want to say that it is a very targeted and very intensified the approach that we have adopted, and based on that we have achieved certain milestones in this part of the country. So of course we are missing on the part of that when we are talking about the perception and all that, we are missing on that definitely, because the location, many people they do not know that there is one university and doing quite in the front line, I will say. If you try to see that the publications and all that, which we were, of course we are lagging previously, but now if you try to see that the Scopus, a sharp increase we have observed on that. So this is some of the significant things that we have done. And as far as the conference is concerned, the conference, with the name itself, the innovative theme, based on the innovative and sustainable development. So this is one of the themes that we have chosen, and our organizers, they worked very hard for the last couple of months, and they arranged the event. And I'm happy to mention that more than 100, the participants or the papers or the abstracts were received from the different part of the country. And as we can witness, the renowned scientists, they are participating here, and of course they will be sharing their knowledge in the particular area. So innovative and the sustainable development. And if we try to see that the sustainable development goal, the 17, we all know about that under the United Nations, the SDG 7, which addresses to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all by 2030. So this was and based on that, we have also, started working on this or organizing this kind of the event, particularly the sustainable and the innovative. These two aspects we are trying to address through this the event. And if you try to see that the European Union, for example, if you try to see the climate change, the global warming, all we talk about that, and we talk about the clean energy, we talk about the hydrogen energy and all that, the more, these days, a lot of emphasis is on that. European Union, the consumption of the renewable energy that targeted to 32% by 2030. And I'll just share with that the Prime Minister's vision, which he is talking about that one sun, one world, one grid. It was, sometimes we feel that this may not be achievable, but may be achievable, maybe after 20 years, maybe 30 years, 40 years, because the concept behind it is that sun never sets. Sun never sets. So can we have a global, a single grid? So if we will be having that, a single grid, a lot of energy issues that can be reduced. And recently, the Prime Minister is talking about the LIFE, L-I-F-E, life, that is lifestyle for the environment. We have to think about that. This is all related with what we are talking today. And on that, a commitment from the Government of India, or I'll say that the country, for net zero emission by 2070. We are targeting, and if you try to see that there is a clear analysis on that, how much the growth will be there and how much will be the opportunities or the job opportunities will be increased by 2070. It's a long-term goal, long-term vision that is adopted by the country. And I'll say that at the moment, the whole world looking towards us, because we are having the potential and we can achieve certain things, certain, the goals. If you try to see that when 1971, before this, the Gulf War, the Fukushima and the Honda, they have initiated one of the research, that is the splitting of the water and generating this hydrogen. All we know about it, that is the electrocatalytic, the splitting of the water. And that time it was not emphasis was given. But during the time the Gulf War started 1991, all these things taken the greater importance. And if you try to see that today's scenario is totally changed and immersed, I will say that we are also looking, nowadays we are thinking about the green energy. We are looking for the hydrogen energy, looking towards the solar energy, the non-conventional energy or the renewable. So these are the initiatives that in the past we have observed and we have seen it. Nowadays we are talking that from the waste to the wealth. Is it possible the waste to be converted for the hydrogen energy? There was a lot of research. People, they are doing that. With the waste, if you decompose it and if ammonia is generated, through that ammonia, the hydrogen can be tapped. These are the work which is people are starting. I hope that this event will provide us a greater opportunities when all these the senior scientists or the senior professors, they will be sharing their ideas, their knowledge, and our students definitely they will be benefited out of the interactions. It will be more interactive sessions and many lectures. When I was looking into the program, that more than 23 or 24 the invited lectures are there, will be delivered by the eminent scientists. So we are waiting for that. So I wish this is going to be a grand success of the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Diwakar Tiwari, Chairman of this international conference. And thank you for the wide introduction of our topic, that is the science and technology, innovation for sustainable development. Much have been talked about the financial and labor exchange, where capitalist market economy of a global village, they say that no one can be isolated from the economic point of view. At the backdrop is this topic where we are sitting here today. So now I would like to call upon the registrar of university, Mizoram University, Professor Landanga, to give his speech. Please take your stage.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor D.C. Dekar, and eminent scientist, Professor P.M.S. Chauhan, the CDRI Lucknow, Professor Diwakar Tiwari, Chairman of this conference, and the Dean of the school, Professor Ijlal Thanzara, the Principal of Pachunga University College, this Professor Muthukumaran, the convener, and Dr. Ved Prakash, and the esteemed guests, participants, and my dear colleagues, student friends. I am very glad to witness this very important conference this morning. As we just heard, since the university is having this executive council today, which will be started by 11, because of which I think we start a little bit early, though most of the participants could reach on time. First of all, I must congratulate the Department of Chemistry and Department of Industrial Chemistry for organizing this international conference. As the chairman of this conference has mentioned, that to commemorate the presidency of G20, the university has taken up different activities. So all the departments in the campus, I think if I'm not wrong, 39 departments in the university and different centers and cells, they have conducted this G20 related in terms of this national conference or international conference. And not only that, as we just heard, our constituent college, Pachunga University, I think 19 different departments conducted these G20 related these seminars or conference. The main theme from different disciplines, like as we have mentioned, is innovation and sustainable development, which is common for all, for I think like interdisciplinary kind of these activities. And I happened to witness some of the seminars or the conference within this campus, and I'm very proud to say that though we have had there's a COVID problem for the last 2 years, but I could see that this kind of physical, there's a conference and seminars, so I could see that these all the participants are enjoying, and it was very lively. And all the participants contributed their best effort to the theme that we have set. And this time also, I hope that when we talk about innovation and the sustainable development, so it can, something like in between, we are talking about this indigenous knowledge. So the trend is lying in between the indigenous knowledge and the latest updated technology. So if it is so, I think we all are accommodated within that range. That is like from the indigenous to the latest technology. So I hope that this international conference would also come out with some recommendable kind of a conclusion, and which we always talk about will be a kind of an achievable and doable kind of recommendation. So with that, I wish this conference a grand success, and I wish all our guests to have a pleasant stay during this course of conference. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Lanundanga, Registrar, Mizoram University, for welcoming us to the university and wishing us a successful time for this conference. Now, I would like to call upon Professor H. Laltanzara, Principal, Pachunga University College, which is the constituent college of Mizoram University. So please take a stage.
Good morning, everyone. Namaskar. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Dibakar Chandra Dekaji, Professor Lalundanga, Registrar of Mizoram University, Professor Diwakar Tiwari, Chairman of this conference, Professor R. Muthukumaram, and Dr. Ved Prakash Singh, convener of this conference, deans of the schools, head of the departments, respected finance officer, Professor Vanal Chona, and esteemed keynote speakers, invited speakers, professors, guests, and student friends. I warmly greet you on behalf of Patsunga University College. It is indeed a huge honor for me to have been invited to be a part of this international conference. Patsunga University College is the only constituent college of this university and has been accredited A+ in the last NAC assessment in 2023. And it has also been recently placed at rank 34 under NRF rankings in college category. And a number of other achievements also there. All these achievements could only come to be because of the immense assistance, support, guidance, and fundings received from this parent university. And for all this, I and the faculty of PUC and also the non-teaching staff, all fraternity, sincerely express our gratitude to our parent university. Patsunga University College, only constituent college of this university, is located on the eastern part of the city with 122 acres size campus, which is covered by more than 70% lush green forest. We have enrolled more than 3,000 students and offering 23 undergraduate courses in arts, science, commerce, and management. It is a multidisciplinary institution. So our university is having such a well-established constituent college, which we sometimes call it as Eastern Campus. Now, despite the short span of years since its inception in 2001, it is truly admirable that our university, Mizoram University, has progressed by leaps and bounds. The credit goes to the hard work and dedication of all senior professors, the deans, the head of departments, all faculty, officers, and staffs. I am confident that under the able leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Dibakar Chandra Dekaji, the university will continue to shine and prosper. Being a mere principal of in just a constituent college of this university, it is humbling for the PUC fraternity to have been invited to the inauguration program of the international conference jointly organized by the Department of Chemistry and Industrial Chemistry. This is the very first incident where PUC principal is invited from our parent university on such auspicious occasion. Therefore, we are very grateful, and PUC will remember the kindness to the Department of Chemistry and the Industrial Chemistry, and especially the organizing committee. I do not have the technical expertise to talk in depth on the topic of this conference. Many experts and scientists are here. We are very happy to have you here. I applaud the organizing committee of the conference for their massive work in bringing together this impressive conference. The subject matter of this conference, that is of innovative and sustainable development, is something that every nation needs badly. And especially the state of Mizoram, we need it. They are necessary for progress and development. I hope that all the research papers and presentations and also the invited lectures, keynote lectures, delivered during this conference by experts and scientists, scholars, will yield better results for the nation, and especially the host state, Mizoram. I pray that the discussions and questions generated reach our policymakers beyond the conference hall, because the success of a conference lies not on papers alone, but on whether it reaches the common people, the common mass, and therefore I warmly wish that this happens in the case of this international conference too. Finally, I wish the very best for the success of this three-day international conference on science and technology for innovation and sustainable development 2023. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor H. Laltan Zara, Principal, Pachung University College, for your kind and encouraging words. I should just mention in a few words that about 2 weeks back, I was there in another international conference where I chaired one technical session. And when, before that, when I visited the campus, that was more than so many years, I was literally lost. That much was the progression there in the Constituent College, I should say that. Apart from our topic of our international conference, science and technology, all aspects of sustainability, as much as just the speech you've just heard just now, in a modern world of enterprises must be holistic, that it must address the economy, the social, and the environment, the relationships between them, through the construction of a positive approach to the possible negativity science impart in a society by ways of knowledge systeming, which may include culture, social, and institutional dimension under which all of this operates. Next, I would like to call upon Professor P.M.S. Chauhan. Before I call him, let me just introduce him. He is a member of the Academy of Scientists and Research, Innovative Research, ex-scientist of Central Drug and Research Institute, and I believe he is currently the member of the International Society of the Computational Biology. So may I call upon Professor P.M.S. Chauhan to kindly take his stage.
Good morning. It is wonderful to organize the conference this remote place. So first, I congratulate the organizer of this conference, Professor Ved Prakash Singh ji, and all members of committee. On behalf of organizing committee, I certainly congratulate our chief guest, Professor D.C. Deka, Professor Muthu Kumaran R., conveners of this society, this conference, Professor Divakar Tiwari, chairman of conference, Professor Lalun Daga, registrar, Professor H. Lal Thana Jara, principal. So, just I want to communicate our thanks for this organizer. As you know, to organize the conference is not simple work. It requires work of at least 50 volunteers, professors, and management side of people they involve. So on behalf of myself, I communicate our thanks. As you know, now the boundary of the science is disappearing. There is no specific science. If a good chemist want to do good chemistry, he require biologist or biochemist to find the activity of his molecule or their molecules. Without knowing the application of synthetic molecules, there is no use of their synthetic methodology. And further development, we require pharmacy people, we require the clinician, we require the process chemist. And finally, for market people we require. So this way science goes. As you know, drug research is one of the most expensive area of the science. To develop one drug in market, it requires $1.5 billion and 12 to 15 years work. So you can imagine how difficult to develop the drug. As you know, more than 100,000 compound when screened, we got only 1,000 hit molecules, and after further evaluation, only 5 molecules we found active molecules, and out of 5, only 1 compound goes in market. So you can see, you can understand how difficult. And you can also think why we require the drug, because we already lot of drug in market. Because you know, every month, every year, the drug getting the resistant. As you know, due to resistance, we require the second line of drug. The Northeast is very good. We have plenty natural product here. And I think the university, like the Mizoram University, they concentrate on natural product chemistry. As you know, 35 million species known for natural product. And all natural product is not active. Only 35,000 compound having the medicinal value. So you have to identify the active plant for further drug development. Because you have the treasure of the natural products. So I advise, please do the natural product chemistry. And one thing I also congratulate, as organizer told, they have filed several patents. So it is wonderful, because patenting is very important for any science. And I congratulate the Devan Singh. Recently he filed the international patent on Alzheimer. So as a scientist from Center Drug Research Institute, we understand how important to file the patent. But one thing is very important. First you recognize your resources, your ability, and then start to do research. Because if you do research just haphazard way, you will not find anything. So first you focus your target, and then you concentrate, and on the basis of your strength, you do your research work. So for this few words, one thing I also want to communicate. This natural product chemistry is wonderful, and most of the old drug derived from natural product. So I think all this department, chemistry department, industrial department, people can concentrate on natural product chemistry. Yesterday during our trip, the lecturer told me they're doing the research in tobacco. So I told, you do research in tobacco, you fractionate the tobacco, different fractionate, and find what the activity the fraction having. they having the antibacterial activity or other activity. So this way you can do your tobacco research. With this viewer, I thank you again to all our those participated in this conference and our organizers. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor PMS Chauhan, for the, how to say, innovative, grassroots understanding of research speech that you've given us. And as you talk about the amount of work that must be put in commercializing any technological output, it's not an easy thing. But if a person have the will to do it and the ambition, there is no impossibility in that. And now I would like to call upon the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University, Professor D.C. Decker, to give his speech. Sir, can you take a stage?
Namaskar, Shibai, good morning to all of you. Our respected guest, Professor Chauhan, former Chief Scientist of CDRI and presently General Secretary, ISCB. My colleagues, Professor Lalnundanga, our Registrar, our Pasunga PUC Principal, Professor Landhanjara, my other colleagues on the dais, Professor Muthukumaran, Professor Tiwari, Professor Bedprakash, all my colleagues in the audience, officers, participants from outside Mizoram University campus, and dear students. First of all, I welcome all of you, those who are from Mizoram, outside from Mizoram University, to this beautiful, pleasant campus of Mizoram University. And my heartiest welcome is extended to those who have first time visited this campus. I've talked to Professor Chauhan. He is the first time visitor. I extend my heartiest welcome to him as one of the senior most scientists. Today we are here to discuss our views, share our knowledge in a platform in the name of International Conference, Science Technology for Innovation and Sustainable Development. And you must have realized topic is so vast. When you call science, everything. And when you call technology, everything. Now we will be talking science technology for innovative and sustainable development. That innovative and sustainable development is important in this century, 21st century. Though topic is very vast, I believe most of the participants are from chemistry background, and incidentally, not necessary that all vice chancellors should be from chemistry, and incidentally, I am also from chemistry background. So, how to define chemistry, how to put the chemistry in a nutshell? I will say, all branches of science and technology, directly or indirectly connected with chemistry. You cannot deny it. All branches of, you say solar energy, you say rainwater harvesting, whatever you say, any branch of science, you talk about our daily life needs, we talk about our development, we talk about modern civilization. Chemistry is everywhere, either directly or indirectly. And if you permit me, so my feelings, to express my feeling, I'll say that life is chemistry. And how do I define life? I will define life from scientific point of view. I will define life as a set of chemical reactions. Life is a set of chemical reactions. Nobody can deny it. There may be other things, but as why I'm daring to say, make this statement, you say, I'm talking, you are listening, we are laughing, whatever kind of job we do in, everything connected with a chemical reaction. To talk in front of you, I need energy. Where from I'm getting energy? There is no solar cell on my back. Okay? There is no any battery or lithium battery or any dry cell in my pocket. But still I am talking. To talk, I need energy. Where from it is coming? It is coming because of some reaction going on within my body. I am able to stand because there are reactions which are converting my breakfast into energy. So everything you think about, I am laughing, I am able to laugh, I am able to smile. I am angry, expression of some chemical reaction. I have depression, it is expression of some chemical reaction. Nobody can deny that. So I will say that thousands, if not millions, reactions are going on at any moment of time inside our body, and that is life. Well, if I think about innovative and sustainable development, I will, to make it short, I will say that in the last century, 20th century, there was tremendous development. And there was industrialization. As the result, we have got all kinds of modern needs, whether it is health, maintenance of health, treatment of disease, or hygiene, or different kinds of foods, food preservation, all kinds of things. Since our morning toothpaste till the bedtime for aged peoples to the tablet, everything we take before going to bed, some tablet or anything, whether it is antacid, whether whatever may be. Every moment we are dealing with chemistry, all these things. So in the last century, all of us know there is a development, huge development, industrialization, life expectancy has increased from around 40, 50 years to now 80 plus years, or 70 at least, 70 plus years. And these are all directly, indirectly blessing of chemistry. Without antibiotics, without anti-depression drugs or hypertensive drugs or diabetic drugs, anti-diabetic drugs, you could not have lived up to 70 plus or 80 plus years. We cannot. After 50, 70, most of the peoples we need to treat with hypertension, we need to diabetic treatment, or some kind of problems come, or arthritis, or some kind of problem comes. Without medicine, actually in chemistry or science you call it drugs, but drugs has another bad name, like heroin, etc. Don't take that way. When I say drugs, drugs means all kinds of chemical substances are called drugs. Even alcohol is also a drug. So whatever may be. When I say antibiotic or our antipyretic agents, all are drugs in the language of science. Anyway, I am taking that chance. Without this vast means number of drugs or medicines, and we would not have lived, at least to my age even. Earlier, you see people die out of cholera, because of there was no antibiotics available. Penicillin was not there. When sulfur drugs were discovered, that was the first drugs to treat the injuries, any kinds of loose motion, stomach problem, to treat with infection, many germs, sulfur drugs came, then antibiotics came. And slowly, and now also many antibiotics are not working because the germs, bacteria has developed resistance. So new drugs are continuously being discovered, whether it is anti-malarial or other drugs. So anyway, in brief, to make it, all of you scientists connected with science, you know, the last century there was tremendous development, and because of which our civilization has survived. I will be not wrong if I think that many civilizations have died earlier, maybe due to some pandemic, like last 2 years back we have seen COVID pandemic. How terrific it was without vaccination. I think without vaccination, scientists, microbiologists, chemists, people together discovered very quickly because they have vast knowledge of stock of vast knowledge. And that's why pandemic is ended in 2 or 3 years' time. And otherwise, nobody knows the way people died due to COVID in Egypt. Maybe this civilization would have been wiped out by this corona. But it has been possible. We have survived this civilization only because of blessing of science. And most part is done by chemists and microbiologists, all these things. Anyway, so my brief is that last century developed tremendously in all branches of science, and chemistry was tremendous development in the 20th century. And that was a blessing for modern civilization, discovery of medicine, drugs, and discovery of lifestyle substances, modern living, including soap, detergent, all these things, cosmetics, lipsticks, all these things. So we cannot live nowadays without that. So all these things has been the blessing of development in chemistry. We are happy. And also I would like to mention in that because of famine, food shortage in India, the Green Revolution came. Professor Swaminathan and others took the initiative to bring more production in agriculture by using fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides. All these discoveries are from chemistry only. Urea, you call phosphate or potash fertilizer, whatever you can say, all fertilizers are discovered by chemists only. And because of these fertilizers and pesticides, herbicides, the food security was ensured in India with the help of agricultural scientists. So all these development are blessing of science. Now but very late in the last century, we realized that on the sideline, on the side effect, there was a huge side effect of discovery of chemistry, development of chemical industries, huge side effect. What is that? The side effect of waste, particularly pollutants or generated out of chemical industries discovered. That was ignored by chemists. That was the side effect or bad effect. That most of the chemists ignored that the waste material, mostly toxic, generated by chemical industries or out of chemistry research. That was ignored. Nobody bothered about. Only development, discovery, all these things. What the society needs, that was doing. But that part, as the result, what we have seen? We have seen global warming, we have seen ozone depletion. These are the side effects. Then people slowly realize that we have seen the positive aspects only. So we have ignored the negative aspects of chemistry. That's why we realized in the last century that more should be done. Chemists or people connected with discovery should be concerned about waste generated with our discoveries. So that is why the time has come, science and technology for innovative and sustainable development. Now in the 21st century, we are talking about sustainable development. Development must be sustainable, not development destructive or short-lived. We cannot afford anymore to see ozone depletion. No longer we can think about sustaining our development by releasing lot of greenhouse gases, global warming. We cannot afford that. That's why this century, 21st century, will be, if I talk about chemistry, so I will say that chemistry has to be now different from the last century. This chemistry in the 21st century has to be innovative and sustainable. Release less greenhouse gases, major part carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, etc., carbon monoxide, etc. We have to see and use less organic solvent, all these things. And I know those who worked in chemistry laboratory in the last century, in our time, we never bothered about, now students, I'll say the chemistry students, we never bothered about, we are not afraid about using benzene. We never afraid. We used in lots of benzene in laboratory. Now, because our teachers, our scientists never alerted us that benzene is toxic, carcinogenic. Never alerted us. Now, latter part of our life, we somehow survived till now. Probably many of us have survived of the carcinogenic effect of benzene. Now we see benzene is totally banned. No chemical laboratory, no industry will use benzene, because we have like many other things. So hardly any resource is appreciated if they propose to use organic solvent, particularly organic halo compounds, fluorocarbon, all other things. So if those solvents are proposed in any research project, that is looked as suspicious. No, it is not, it cannot be a good project. So what is good then? What is innovative and sustainable? Now, making so much of chemical reaction discovered, so much of chemistry done, if you take what is to innovate again, nothing is left, everything discovered. There's no element left on the earth crust. 100 plus. All elements available on the earth crust, chemical elements, all are discovered. Our student, new generation cannot think about discovering another element. No, you cannot. Impossible. Nothing is left on the earth crust. Everything discovered. Only physicists can do some discovery, new synthetic elements they can do, which may be in picogram, which may be short-lived, like a fraction of millionth of a second. Those are useless for society. We don't need them. That is for good for something adventure. But for benefit of the society, I will say that our new generation, that you won't be able to discover any new element. All no vacant places in the periodic table, if you know. So there is no chance at all. So how to innovate, how to do new things. If you can do, there is plenty new things may can done. That will depend on your thinking ability, thinking process. You can discover new antibiotics, because the current antibiotics will not survive for long. If you know quinine, anti-malarial drug, which are so important, appreciated, Now quinine is not very widely used now to treat malaria disease. Now we use artemisinin. So artemisinin, you never know. After some time, artemisinin will be useless, like penicillin. So how to treat the malaria or other bacteria, or now new viruses are coming, like coronavirus. So how to treat them? You have to keep trying chemistry to find new drugs or new medicine. That is area, because if you want to make your present civilization or next civilization to survive, next generation to survive, we have to keep doing all these things. But most challenging, I will say, very easy to work in chemistry is that lot of chemistry done, no doubt. But you can redo the earlier discoveries, redo the all other chemical reactions in a different way, innovative way. What is that innovative way? That is, most of the, I have said already, our time, most of the chemical, particularly organic reactions were done in organic solvents. Benzene, toluene, dichloromethane, all the kind of organic solvents are used. Now, and also at high temperature, high pressure. So if we can avoid high pressure, high temperature, we can do the reaction in room temperature. Instead of using organic solvents, if we can do the reaction in water, that's good for green chemistry. That's good for sustainable chemistry. That's good enough for sustainable development. Whatever, starting from our drugs, medicines, to our many preservative foods, if we can make them by avoiding high pressure, high temperature, and organic solvents, all our cosmetics including, if you can do that, that will be innovation, and that is needed. And if you believe your seniors like us, I am talking to our present generation, our present chemistry students, if you believe us, let me tell you, if you look at your own body, everything, all reaction, not only our body, see at the plants, so many plants. Plants also produce metabolites, chemical compounds. How do they do? Do they use benzene? Do they use organic solvent? Nothing. They take water from the ground. That's all. They take carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. That's all. Carbon dioxide, water. That's all. They make so many compounds, our food, etc. So they are doing organic reaction. Why not then chemists can do the reaction in laboratory in water? So I will invite, I will request or ask our young generation to try. If you do not find any new chemical reaction, you try the old reactions, whatever reported, in a different way. Try in organic water medium. Try with a catalyst instead of high temperature and high pressure. That will be innovation, and that will contribute to the sustainable development. So I will not talk much. Our experts are here. All of you will be talking, and we have an executive committee meeting at 11. So I would like to conclude here. Lastly, I will say that all participants from outside Mizoram University or state of Mizoram, I welcome you to this beautiful university campus and beautiful state of Mizoram. I hope you will enjoy the pleasant atmosphere. I think if you only 40 minutes flight to Guwahati, if you go, so much of sweating. My place, I have been, just 2 days back I have come from DR. I see the vast difference. Here, you can run without sweating. But in Guwahati, you just walk, do your household works, you will be sweating too much. Very irritating. Go any other place. So I hope you will enjoy all these things. And finally, one thing I'm happy to mention is that day after tomorrow, 30th of June, is very important day. Many of you may not know, Ramni, that means that the day on which Mizo Peace Accord was signed and in 1986. So Ramni is going to be celebrated in this day after tomorrow, 30th of June. This is very important day. And all of you certainly will appreciate that this Mizo Peace Accord is one of the landmark peace accord, very successful peace accord in India. You must have heard, Government of India over the last 75 years are signing many accords. And you know all that. There are 4 or 5 accords in Assam, Nagaland Accord, Manipur Accord, Bodoland Accord. So many accords has been signed. But till now I have seen, all of you, not only me, Mizo Peace Accord is the most successful one. In the last so many years, after the signing of the Mizo Peace Accord, there is no looking back. All have come. Only to a few days back, I met the Honorable CM, Chief Minister of Mizoram. So, he said he was himself was a signing of peace accord. He was that time and one of the leading person in the Mizo movement for survival, like that, whatever may be. He said also same thing that since then, after signing the accord, there is no looking back. So on this, on the eve of this Mizo Peace Accord, I think this is not something to celebrate by the state of Mizoram only. This is something to be celebrated by all over India. Because if Mizoram not in peace, India cannot be in peace. If Assam is not in peace, the India cannot live in peace. Because Manipur, there is trouble going on. Everybody blaming PM. Where is he? He is missing, not talking anything. It is not like that. So anywhere, any part of the country, if there is unrest, the country cannot be in peace. That's why I'll say that day after tomorrow, the celebration of Mizo Peace Accord, not only important from the Mizoram state, but it is for the whole country. So let us all greet all the Mizo people, all those who are living, not living, who signed the Mizo Peace Accord, congratulate them. And on my behalf, I extend my greetings to all of you on the eve of Mizo Peace Accord. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant stay in Mizoram and Mizoram University campus. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University Professor D.C. Deka. And in the midst of your speech mentioning about the Remnani too. And I should say that this peace accord which was signed is still being implemented even today, which is very valid even today, as the case we have exemplified by the trouble we have currently here in the Northeast. Thank you for the philanthropic speech you've given, entailing the essence of chemistry and the wide applications that is there in a very simple words. Thank you so much, sir. And at the same time, in the midst of your speech, reminding us that this particular conference is based kind of an ends to a means to what we're going to do on the sustainability that is there. The United Nations put forward that the major challenge for science and technology and innovation for sustainable development is towards the climate change, they say, that all knowledge system and technological innovation must respond to this challenge in a very holistic manner. Now, I would like to call upon the convener of our conference, Dr. Ved Prakash Singh, to give the vote of thanks for this inaugural function. So please.
Thank you, Dr. Jodin P.S. sir. Again, I will say good morning to all of you who came late and who came earlier. We have already started the program, so people came late. So again, good morning to all of you. And I will say thank you. I feel honored and privileged to get the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this special occasion on International Conference on Science and Technology for Innovative and Sustainable Development, STISD 2023. I would like to thank all the honorable delegates who blessed us with their presence. I am also very much thankful to all program advisory committee members, national and international, from different places of the India as well as abroad. I am thankful to Professor PMS Chauhan sir, Secretary of ISCB, and Professor K.N. Singh sir, Professor D.S. Rawat sir, Professor S. Lahiri sir, and Professor V.K. Jain, and all other invited members who are present here, and many of the invited members are on the way. They are going to reach here today and tomorrow also. So I would like to thank to all of them. And words are not enough to thank their constant guidance and support to save the conference. They are not only as an invited speaker, they have supported in all different way also to organize this conference. So I would like to thank for all kind of support given by them to us. And I, on behalf of organizing committee, convey deep regards and hearty thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Diwakar Chandeka sir. And I am also thankful to the Registrar, Professor Lalun Danga sir, and our Finance Officer, Professor Wallan Chhana sir. They helped us in obtaining the necessary administrative approval for organizing the event in our campus. And I would also like to thank our GAD Joint Registrar, Dr. Jermawa Pachau, for his kind support. He supported a lot regarding the administrative help in this organization of the conference. And I would like to thank our Dean, Professor Diwakar Tiwari sir, chairperson of this conference, for his constant help and guidance that radiated a source of energy within us. We will ever remain grateful to you, and we thank you for being with us today. I would like to thank to PUC Principal, Professor H. Lalthan Chara sir, for joining us to make this session successful. I thought without PUC, we are not complete, because PUC is part of this university and chemistry department is also there. So that's why I thought we should include them also. So at least we can join their undergraduate student with PG student and research. So at least they will take interest to become part of research scholar, as a research scholar, or as a in different way in the university. I am very much thankful to all deans, HODs, and faculty members of the Department of Chemistry, Industrial Chemistry, and other departments of the Mizoram University, and non-teaching staff members of Department of Chemistry and Industrial Chemistry, who always stand by us and motivate us. I feel proud and thank you for making this event a successful one. I am very much thankful to all the sponsoring agencies, DST SERB, DAE-BRNS, CSIR, DRDO, Royal Society of Chemistry, CAS, Sigma Cells, LabTech, Zenith, and Mizoram University. It would have been impossible to organize it without their support. An event of this dimension cannot happen overnight. The wheels start rolling months in advance. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated students, committee, and volunteers. I cannot thank everyone enough for the involvement they have shown and the willingness they have expressed to take on the completion of tasks beyond their comfort zones. I would like to thank to our PRO team, ICT team, transportation, accommodation, and catering team. Without guys, this event was not possible. Thank you very much again to all of you. At the end, I would like to thank to our convener, Professor Muthukumaran Bose sir, who joined hands to organize this dream conference. Thank you, sir. And last but not least, I would like to thank to all the young scientists and participants who came from different parts of the India, from Bilaspur, from Dhanbad, from Lucknow, from Ahmedabad, different places, and Northeast, I think from all states, some participation is there in this conference. So I would like to thank to all of you for joining us in this conference. If the time is money, then today you have spent millions for us. Thanks to all of you for making this event successful. Have a wonderful staying at Mizoram University, enjoying the conference and the campus life of Mizoram University. Thank you all again. And sir, we can just take a picture of this inaugural. Quickly. Yes, sir. Please, I will invite to all delegates who are here. Please come on the dais so we can take a picture. And all dean and heads, please come on the dais. And all faculty members of chemistry and industrial chemistry, please come on the dais.